Welcome, Antoinette. Good to see you, and great that you're going to be interviewed because I found it hard to get certain people from Classer to be interviewed, but it's great that you're willing to be interviewed. So good to see you today. And the first question I want to ask you is that I ask everyone is tell us a bit about yourself, Antoinette.
Well, first of all, Father John, thank you for having me here today in your house. I really appreciate it. I suppose my name is Antoinette Peyton. I am from Clonenra in Classer. My parents are Martin and Maria Peyton, and I'm the youngest of five. And I've grown up here. I've spent my whole life here in Classer in Swinford, and I'm a very proud Classer woman. I was educated locally in Swinford. I went on then to study in the University of Galway, and I studied a Bachelor of Arts with Law, Sociology and Politics, and then I moved on and studied a Bachelor of Law. I suppose I've always been heavily involved in the local community. I'm a fiddle player and a singer, and I suppose most people in the community might recognise me as being that. And I've involved with many community organisations over the years, and Comhaltas would be one of those. And last year I was fortunate enough to be the Blona Féile representing Seamstress Strategy Streets and Arts Festival at the Mayo Rose competition, and that was a wonderful experience for me to represent the local area, and it was a tremendous proud moment for myself and for my family. And yeah, I suppose that's really it.
Good, Antoinette. And now you're going to be going for election as a councillor. So just ask you the question, maybe what inspired you or what got you to think of running for a councillor?
I suppose politics has always been a very topical conversation in my house and at the dinner table, it's always been something I've thought about pursuing. Having studied politics as part of my degree in the University of Galway, and I believe in that politics, if you want to make a difference, that politics is the way to go. And we've also never had a female councillor in this area ever before in the Swinford electoral area, and there's currently only 2 female councillors out of 30 in the whole county, and that's a glaring gap in representation that I'm willing to fill, because I don't believe that representation is fair, and there's that balance isn't there. But I hope to be a strong voice for the local community, and I'm very, very passionate about my community. I'm passionate about politics, and that's a core reason of why I'm putting my hand up.
Well done, and it takes courage as well. I really think it takes courage, and I admire someone like yourself to actually do that. But, well done for doing that in itself. And what are your plans now for this electorate area? If you're elected, what are your plans for what you'll do in that, Antoinette?
I suppose over the past few weeks I've had the absolute privilege of speaking with many people in the local area and listening to their concerns and their needs. I suppose what I hope to be is a strong local voice for the area, and I will work tirelessly to work and to represent our people here in Swinford and in Classer and the surrounding areas, all the way over to Kilmavie and Cultama and Foxford. And the reinstatement of our local Garda station is something that's coming up a lot, and I don't believe that our rural areas should be constantly undermined. We need rural security, and also childcare. Improvement of our childcare facilities is coming up a lot, and I think it's very, very important that we have those facilities there. Supporting our farmers. As a farmer's daughter, I'm familiar with the amount of red tape that our farmers have to deal with. Particularly in the last year, the weather has been absolutely catastrophic and horrific, and I hope to be a strong voice for our farming and for our rural communities, and supporting our local businesses and building safer and stronger communities and safer roads as well.
Well done, Antoinette. And is there any other urgent thing? You mentioned quite a few things there, and I'm sure people are talking to you about those things when you come to their doors and that. But is there any other things that you see are important, or for a rural area, as I say, like this? Yeah. Any other issues you might like to talk about, or that you'd like to do something about, Antoinette?
Well, I suppose there isn't just one urgent issue. There's many issues. Public transport, for example. You know, there's currently not a bus service from Swinford and Culchmont to Galway, for example, and that's not very viable. We have so many students travelling every day and every week, and especially elderly people going for hospital appointments. But I also believe, as a young person, I'm currently the youngest candidate in Mayo, contesting the forthcoming local elections on the 7th of June. And one of the most urgent issues we face is the high exodus of our young people seeking employment elsewhere. And I think we really need to make our local areas and revitalise our towns and villages a place where young people can secure employment, establish a home and build their futures right here in the Swinford local electoral area. I've seen many of my friends go abroad to Australia and Dubai, and I want our young people to stay here. And I don't think we can afford to lose any more of our talented youth to distant shores, and I think we should try and incentivise every effort to the return of our local tradespeople, our teachers, our nurses, our doctors, to come home. But we need to make the Swinford electoral area a place where young people can build their futures.
Well done, Antoinette, and as I say, well done for going forward as well and having the courage to go forward. It takes a bit of courage because you're putting yourself out there into the public domain. You're really pushing yourself out, and you become everybody's property nearly. Do you know what I mean? So it's difficult, and so I'm sure you're looking forward to being a councillor and all that. I'm sure you're looking forward to that too.
Yeah, well, I want to be a strong voice for the local area, and I hope to be that. Please God, and I've had the absolute privilege of speaking to so many people over the past few weeks, and it would be an absolute honour to represent the area and make sure that Calasser and Swinford in particular has its fair share.
Yeah, well, I know Calasser people would like to be heard, and they'd like whatever they need to be addressed as well, and to have someone local, I'm sure would be a great thing for us. Do you know?
Absolutely.
I'm sure it would be great to be, because you're only down the road from any of us, and you know most people here anyway.
Yes.
So the other question then, Antoinette, because they're kind of coming to the end now, is, would you have anything else to say? Because you're on YouTube now, so you could be watched all over the world, and these videos, to tell you the truth, are watched all over the world, not just in Calasser, and they're within Ireland, around Swinford, around Mayo, but they'll be watched around the rest of Ireland. Some of them watched in Japan, believe it or not, people I know in Japan, and the States as well, in England, and the many other countries they're being watched in. So, is there any other thing you'd like to say now, just as a final word to the people watching and the people that are listening to you now?
Well, I suppose for anyone watching, I hope that you can place your trust in me on the 7th of June and give me a chance. I think we need somebody local. We need a strong local voice, and that's what I'm willing to offer, and I'm going to work tirelessly and work with our local representatives and our TDs, and I'm so lucky that the likes of Alan Dillon and Michael Ring and our MEP Maria Walsh has been very, very supportive, and and I suppose I'm looking forward to welcoming Simon Harris to the community next weekend. He was the same age as me when he went forward in the local elections, and he's currently the youngest ever Taoiseach, so he knows exactly what I'm going through. But I just want to say thank you so much for having me here today, and thank you so much.
Yeah, well, as I said, thank you as well, and we wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
And all the very best, and looking forward to seeing you being elected or whatever.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Antoinette. God bless. Thanks.